Hi, everyone. Welcome to Executive Table Talk. I'm Carla Biasi, and I am your hostess for today. We have a very exciting topic, one that is near and dear to my heart. We're going to talk today about dress for success, a personal stylist tips to building a thriving business. I could not be more honored or blessed to have my two panelists with me today. I have Lee McLaughlin. She is the founder and owner of Lee Tracy. And I have Elizabeth Wetzel. She is a personal stylist with Lee Tracy. So we are going to dive right in, ladies. Y'all know I could talk about this for hours, so we only have 30 minutes. So Lee, let me start with you. Could you tell our audience what is Lee Tracy? And speak to how you started this business a long time ago and where it is today.
Thank you. Well, we are a family-owned boutique. We started in the shoe business back in 1978. It was when the concept store was kind of the way of the world. Everybody's brand was you had a brand and it was lived in its own store. And we were given the opportunity to go into a concept store with my uncle, who happened to be the wholesaler in Mississippi at the time. And fast forward through a few Connie shoe operations, Metro Center in Jackson, Mississippi, Natchez Mall in Natchez. And then here we came to the Gulf Coast to open Goche. And these were all in shopping centers, new malls. And the mall was the thing at the time. We ended up in Singing River as our own independent at that point. My husband and I bought out my uncle and we became our own independent operation. We still had the Connie sign up. And just about 1990, we were making a decision about where to take our business. Our lease was up in Singing River Mall. And the whole concept store thing was kind of fading. And we were seeing the writing on the wall, basically. So I happened to be the kind of gal that would walk into a fabric store and I would see a piece of fabric and visualize a garment. So it always started with the fabric for me. And I had this real love of knits. Of course, it's funny because that was back in 1990. And now that's all anybody's wearing. But this was back in the day where I think it was JCPenney had a concept of the units operation. They had stores that were kind of satellite stores in their big stores that offered units. And my concept was similar. And I launched it with one dress that I made for myself. And I would wear it to work. And I had people, where'd you get that? I need that. Where'd you get that? And I would, like, well, it's kind of my own design, and it's well, can you make me one? So my first dress sold to a gal who just begged me to make her one. So I said, well, it was a color block dress, very simple, boat neck, color block, sheath, just really easy, 3/4 sleeve, just an easy dress to wear. So anyway, long story short, I made her one at my kitchen table and told her it was $50, and she gave me the $50 and I sold her the first dress. I remember getting in the car that night when my husband picked me up from work that night and just waving this $50 and going, I sold a dress. So anyway, out of the shoe business grew this other business in apparel that I now had to keep. I had to keep up with the demand because this dress kept selling and selling. And then I started making components, skirt. I had like 5 or 6 patterns that I had made that people were loving. And I just started cutting and sewing and cutting and sewing until 3 a.m. And my kids would go to bed at, they were high school. They were pretty much middle school. Anyway, long story short, I was up half the night sewing. And then finally I found someone here in town to do production. So it was a very small production operation, but it worked for what we were doing. And that fed our family for a while. And then one day I just was like, this skirt and top could use a blazer. So I purchased a blazer out in the marketplace. And then I realized, oh, you don't have to make it all. You can start buying other people's things and selling them. So I had my label, which was Business by Lee originally, and it was designed for the bank teller, the teacher, the executive assistant. You know, it wasn't high end. I think every piece was $25. And it just, we had it stacked in deep. I mean, we had about 6 or 8 colors. Every design, I had it stacked in the stock room, and we'd just grab it and sell it. It was fun. Anyway, a lot of women on this Gulf Coast come tell me that they still have a piece of my knits, and they wish they could get their hands on more. And so anyway, I kind of missed that production side, but the whole comprehensive store of apparel and jewelry and shoes and all of the accessories just grew out of that. And so that's where we were. And now we are about to open store number 7. And it's all a lot of different concepts, but it's been fun. It's been a fun ride. It's been a fun ride.
Yeah, I bet. Elizabeth, let me go to you. So you work for the company, you're a personal stylist. So can you talk a little bit about how long you've been there, what your role is, and how it's evolved?
So I started working at Lee Tracy in March of 2022, my sophomore year of high school. I've been there a year now. My job is to help people of all ages find the perfect outfit for every season of life / event that they may be needing an outfit for. Help them find something they feel confident in and love themselves in. As well as I've helped people find, just whatever they're looking for that day. If they just need a new outfit for that season. I have evolved in my job by getting to learn about the products and help people by learning. When you know the product, you can sell it better. And sometimes a customer will steer you towards what they're looking for, but sometimes you have to steer them toward what they are looking for and just help them find something they will feel comfortable in that fits, what they are, their age. It's got to be age appropriate, but that they feel confident in.
Yeah, Elizabeth, you do a great job, by the way.
It sure does.
Lee, one thing I want to ask you about is something that I feel like at Lee Tracy is very unique and it's very special. And it's really, to me, one of the things that sets Lee Tracy apart. And that is being able to style multi-generations at one time. We see mom coming in and she's got daughter or daughter-in-law, and then there's granddaughter, and they're all in there shopping, and they can do it at Lee Tracy. And I think that's very unique for a boutique. So can you just talk to that? Was that part of the plan, or did that just happen over time?
I can't really say that it was part of the plan originally, but it definitely has evolved into that. And I think it's because we've just had such loyalty from our customers that they really do want to introduce the next generation into the store. They want to bring friends, bring acquaintances, recommend us to people of all ages. And we really have been blessed with that. I have one little poster family here in town that is, I think we now have 5 generations because grandma is almost 100. And the girls have all had children and they've had children. So sometimes when they don't all come in anymore together, but they used to. We used to always have 3 at a time coming in, 3 generations. And it does the heart good. And it is kind of a special thing about our company because you're not gonna come in and just say, and walk out the door saying, oh, everything in there is itty bitty and only fits a 20-year-old, or everything in there is too mama for me. We can find you something no matter what. I mean, I have dressed people to go to the White House for very special events when they were getting awards. We have dressed people for every kind of occasion. And we have actually had the privilege of actually recommending and dressing people for their final laying them out. And, when they have passed, because their families have trusted us like that. So it's it fills my heart, because it's all about that loyalty, those people that keep coming back in the door, and they trust us. Like you say, Elizabeth, they may have something in mind when they come in, but because of your knowledge of the product and the mix of the merchandise, we can steer them toward the right look that they will walk out knowing they have the right outfit for the event, and then go to the event and collect all those compliments and it makes such a difference when you feel confident when you're going to some event. And let's face it, there's lots of reasons that you need to get dressed.
Yes. And what's funny is when we're in store, we get so many women coming in saying, is Lee here? Is Katie here? So Elizabeth, you touched on a couple of important things. You said it's finding what's right for the customer and being age appropriate. So will you talk about when you have those 3 generations sitting in front of you, how do you handle that?
So you really have to be relatable with your customer. You have to listen to their needs. A common thing is young girls coming in and needing something that is more modest, whether it be for like a church event or school awards or just anything in general. They need something more modest or business looking. And their parents also agree that it doesn't need to be too, revealing. You help them find an outfit that they can both agree on, that the younger girl can feel confident in, that she isn't like, oh, I don't look good in this, or feel like, it's making them look older, but it still brings out that young in them. And it helps the parents be, okay with what they are wearing, and that they, they're covered for the event that they might have to go to. Because we all like to dress young and fun, but sometimes we need something more professional or more modest. So it's very rewarding getting to help bridge that gap between mothers and daughters, or even grandparents and grandchildren.
That's so true, Elizabeth. And a lot of times, we're kind of observing that family dynamic, because sometimes there's a personality that's a little bit stronger or somebody that's a little bit more outspoken. So you do have to kind of balance that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because sometimes you got mom who's like got this whole outfit picked out, and then the younger girl's like, no, that's not me. And so you've got to find that even balance that she feels confident, but mom like also agrees with, or even grandma agrees with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Lee, let's talk about, you mentioned it's a family-owned business. So, and I think your second generation is there helping you run the business now. So talk about how being family-owned has really helped the success of Lee Tracy.
Oh, it's just unbelievable what my daughter has brought to the business. And my sister-in-law runs our Pensacola store. She's in between the two of us, actually. She's about 10 years younger than me. So, and then my son-in-law is involved in the business. And the younger generation has brought such a fresh attitude. They aren't afraid of anything. I mean, they aren't afraid of the social side, the social media side, which is something that, of course, I've had to be dragged screaming and kicking into some of this stuff because it's just not my forte. But it's been a very special time in our lives to be working side by side with my daughter. Is the biggest joy in my life. I mean, I just love it. Yesterday, we went out running around to pick up everything for the new store. And I got to dinner last night and I looked at my husband and I said, how many have we put together? Because we've had a few that have, gone by the wayside as far as, moved locations or whatever. But it's when you put that new store together, it's so important to have those fresh ideas. And that's what they bring. And I've got grandkids that are kind of, I think they're getting groomed really. I would love to hope that one of them might come in too, or even a couple. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I'm just going to bring this up because you said it. Let's talk about Mr. Mike. He is so great in the store. I mean, Elizabeth, he'll come in and he will pick up product and start talking about it. And he's like, ladies, how's this selling? I like this piece. I mean, he's very involved, I think.
he wanted to, I mean, he was the heart and soul. He was the total sweat equity in the beginning when I was home having babies, of course. And then, as time went on, he went behind the scenes and did all the book side and all that. And then eventually he handed all that to the kids, and he just likes to come in and aggravate a little bit, but he will be he has the keenest eye for the physical plant. I will say that about him. He will notice those light bulbs out. You know that, girls. He will notice that any little dust bunnies rolling around. That is he drives everybody crazy that way, but he just knows how important every little detail is, because we've always had to have that eye for the detail, because that's how you survive. You don't let anything slip through the cracks, So yeah, he's fun to have come in. He'll talk somebody's ear off, that. He loves coming in and hanging with those ladies. He tells the guys all the time, I've sold to ladies all my life, and so I'm real comfortable in a room full of women.
Yeah, he is. We always enjoy seeing him, Mr. Mike. Yeah,
he so is. Yeah,
and so personable. I feel like he wants to get in there and kind of sell just like we do.
Oh,
go ahead.
He probably would be, but the next generation likes to keep him outside, like sweeping the sidewalk.
So Elizabeth, talk about working for a family-owned business, because your family too has a business. So what does that mean to you?
So I think working for a family-owned business, you're not just an older person in the crowd. You become a family. It's a smaller group of people you're working with, and you become family. You relate to each other. You help each other out. You're there for each other when you need each other. And, if someone's got to step away, you go help them. You help them with their customer if they've got to step away and go take care of somebody else. And it's being there and just having fun with each other and not just being lost in the crowd.
Absolutely. And I really do feel like, Lee Tracy is a family.
Oh, 100%. We have fun.
We do. We do have a good time.
And we feel like y'all are family. I mean, I have so many girls that when they come back in, it's just like old home week. It's lovely. And y'all are just, as soon as you become a part of us, you are part of the family forever and ever.
100%.
And I will tell the audience, since you don't know this, but we have a Christmas party. Miss Lee always creates this beautiful little poem and reads it to us. So we look forward to that every year.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I'm so tired in the holiday season, and I'll say to Katie, I don't think I can do a poem in this year. Oh, yeah, you have to, Mom.
You can't do without it, Miss Lee. You're stuck.
I know. I need to keep notes all year so I get my poem done.
Yes. Well, y'all, it looks like we have a question from the audience. So Michael is asking, what skills do you think are necessary to succeed in the fashion industry? So Elizabeth, Lee, I'll let y'all take that one.
You can go first.
Well, you have to stay on top of the trends, which is why I am so thankful that I have my second generation, because they are definitely better at that than I was back in the day. But you have to be service minded, because you are providing a service to every woman who comes into the store. And I'm speaking now on the brick and mortar side, but you have every kind of personality with every kind of need coming in. So you have to be so open to who your customer is and where she's coming from today. I always used to get out of the car at the casino and say, I just want to be Christ to somebody today. And that just makes me, that's how I like to start my day when I go into the store. So anyway, that's how I feel about it.
Elizabeth, did you want to add?
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree with Miss Lee on staying up to date with the trends, but also being very honest and genuine with the customers. If someone, if you help someone find something and they don't go home and feel confident in it or love it, then they're not going to, trust you to help them find something. So you've got to be genuine. You've got to be honest and really help them out.
Yes. And how many times, Elizabeth, during the day, do you and I'd say, hey, if you don't love it, don't buy it.
100%.
To me, what's worse is the buyer's remorse. We don't want that.
No,
Yes.
so true.
Ladies, we have another question. So Lisa is asking, what are some essential tips or strategies for personal stylists to establish and grow their business successfully?
So personal stylists are, like we were saying before the show went on the air, they're so valuable because you're not just wandering around in a department store. You are assessing the body type. That's a really important trait. Assessing age appropriate, like Elizabeth said. Where are you wearing this? And I always like to build on the pieces that I recommend to people. I like to remember what I've sold them in the past and say, you have that great flowy black pant. Well, this silhouette is going to work perfectly with that for XYZ event. And I just think that those are, body type, age, and where they're going, their lifestyle. You don't want to sell somebody something like Carla said that they're gonna get it home and go, why did I let them sell me this? I'm never gonna wear this. You want them to walk out of your store or walk out of your session if you're doing a personal styling in their home, and have them say, "This is God. She was spot on," and that takes building trust. You have to be successful with the first components of that, and then, like I say, add to it. Keep tabs on the things that you have already added to their closet.
Elizabeth, did you want to add anything?
I just 100% agree with Miss Lee, but also, being successful as a stylist, you've got to know your product. And the more you know it, like I said, the more you're confident in it and helping people find the perfect thing that they're looking for.
Absolutely. And I think too, earlier you led to it, Elizabeth, when you said be genuine.
Yes.
When somebody truly cares about you and what's going on with you, it's so much easier to build a relationship. So I would completely agree with that as well.
Yes.
So true.
Okay, so Sharon is asking, are there training or certification processes available for a personal stylist? Could that help someone to career transition? So ladies, I will just pipe in here. There are companies that will give you a certification in personal styling, and it's usually a course and of course nowadays you can take it online. So there are those type things that are offered. Some companies offer bra certification. That's actually something I'm studying right now. So Lee, Elizabeth, did I leave anything out? Can you think of any other training or certifications that are available?
Well, I suppose in this day and age, you would have to have some social media skills, obviously, so that you can get the word out of your services that you have available. I've done what I call closet forensics for people, where you go into their closet and you go, this is dead, get it out of here. And those kinds of things, you've got to let the word out, I guess, if you're going to be available to do that. So, I mean, as much as that's kind of the way of the world now. So I think you would have to have those kinds of skills.
Sure. And, I'll say this too, whoever you're working with, those stores usually offer some type of in-store training as well.
Well, that's true too.
So Michael wants to know, what are some of the biggest fashion mistakes people make? Ladies.
Oh, the biggest thing I think is that if they think it's a trend, they think they wear it. I mean, they'll buy it because it is this season's runway trend, or they're seeing it in the magazines. and it doesn't necessarily fit them, their lifestyle, their age, their body type. I think that you have to have a personal style that you grow as you age, obviously, and you can't deviate too much from that. I mean, obviously there's special events, you're going to put on something a little more special or sassy or whatever, but I think that you just really have to understand that not everything out there belongs in your closet.
Absolutely. Elizabeth, can you think of anything, a mistake that you've seen happen in the store?
I feel like a lot of times people tend to go like up a size or down a size, and that can be a big mistake you can make. Because if you go up a size and it looks, kind of baggy on you, it doesn't show off your figure and it's not flattering. But sometimes people try to go down a size and it's just, too small and it's not flattering. So I think just finding the right size and knowing, what size to go after helps you a lot.
Absolutely. Lisa wants to know, could you share any insights or best practices on finding and attracting clients?
As far as on the personal stylist side of the business, probably word of mouth. I mean, the people that you are already dressing are out there, getting the compliments, put it that way. So you could have cards made up if you have clients that are your personal clients. Of course, in the store, we always tell people when you get all those compliments, you tell them you shopped Lee Tracy, and they always do, and they love to. We like to have pictures come back to us where we'll post and say, caught in Lee Tracy today at this or that or the other thing. And we have an outfitter store that they travel. Some of our clients travel all over the world, and they will send us back their gear pictures where they're using the gear or they're dressed in our gear, and that's pretty exciting. So anyway, I think you just have to track your clients and ask them to send people your way.
Agreed. So I have one more question, ladies, for both of you, and I think we have a little bit of time. So Lee, what 3 things would you most attribute to Lee Tracy's success?
Oh gosh, my wonderful people that are the family of Lee Tracy, the LT girls, we call them. We have always strived to hire the busiest girls, the ones who are involved in student government, like an example of our Elizabeth. And all through the years, it's been that same way. We've always had the most involved girls because they have great time management skills. They have great people skills. So our staff, of course, our customers, our loyal, beautiful customers who keep coming back to us, who trust us, and our vendors. Our vendors have helped us through tragedies like Katrina. Our vendors have been through the thick and thin with us. And those 3 things are the reason that we are still here 45 years into it.
45 years. That's so awesome. So Elizabeth, for young girls who are watching you now that are interested in personal styling, what advice would you give them?
So the advice I'd give to a young girl starting in styling is, like I said, be genuine and honest with your customer. Have fun with it. You build relationship with your customers. They become your friends. They become family. Many times I look forward to my customers coming in and catching up with them and helping them find the perfect outfit. And overall, I think just knowing your product and having confidence where you can sell it. And the more you know it, the better you will do.
Absolutely.
That's so true. And you guys do that so well. everybody knows who's having a baby, who's getting married, who just got engaged. It's so much fun to be in the store and hear that buzz. And that's what y'all have all created.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's a great environment there.
Thank
So
you.
Lee, could you tell the audience, now that we've talked about Lee Tracy, where can they find Lee Tracy stores? And then we're going to let Elizabeth tell them where to find it online.
Okay, well, we are in Ocean Springs at the corner of Washington and Government, was the building with the clock tower. It's right there in the center of town. And then in Pensacola, we're right across from McGuire's, which everybody knows McGuire's Irish Pub. It's on Gregory Street. And then we also have our outfitter out on the beach, which is on the boardwalk. Everybody knows the boardwalk. And then we also have 3 hospital gift shops. We are in the Ocean Springs Hospital, the Singing River Hospital, and the Gulfport Hospital. And that is inside the lobby of each of those. And then as of about a month from now, maybe a little sooner, we will be in downtown Pascagoula in some of the new redevelopment area there. Right there in the old downtown plaza, we will be bringing back to life some of those. We've got a building that we just purchased, and we're putting the new Lee Tracy in there.
Very excited to see that, by the way.
Really exciting.
Elizabeth, where can we find Lee Tracy online?
So our for Facebook and Instagram, I think is the same. And we have our Ocean Springs store, which is Lee Tracy since 1978. Our social for Lee Tracy Pensacola is just Lee Tracy P. Cola. And the Pascagoula store that will be opening soon is Lee Tracy Pascagoula.
Perfect. Well, ladies, I can't thank you enough for spending some time with me today. I'm Carla Biasi. I've been your hostess today for Executive Table Talk. You can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under CB Style.
Well, so thanks for inviting us in.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Carla.
Thank you so much. I had fun.
Good. Yes, me too. Y'all stay stylish.